Fans of the Foo Fighters heard tragic news this week. Just prior to the band's appearance in Bogota, Colombia on March 25th, the performance was canceled. Longtime drummer Taylor Hawkins had died earlier that day, age 50. No cause of death has yet been released, although Blabbermouth reports that he had complained of chest pains earlier in the day. A statement from the band posted on Twitter said, "The Foo Fighters family is devastated by the tragic and untimely loss of our beloved Taylor Hawkins. His musical spirit and infectious laughter will live on with all of us forever." Hawkins is survived by his wife, Allison. The couple had 3 children, said the New York Times. Hawkins was the Foo Fighters drummer, a notoriously difficult role to be in, with founder Dave Grohl being an accomplished drummer himself, noted for his work with Nirvana. Hawkins had played with the Foo Fighters since 1997, taking over for the band's first drummer, William Goldsmith, who, quote, buckled under the pressure, as Hawkins told Beats One. Hawkins had been thriving with the world-renowned rock band. The New York Times described his style as an amalgamation of Stuart Copeland of the Police and Roger Taylor of Queen. It would have been unlikely for the Foo Fighters to recruit an unknown musician off the street to play with a superstar like Dave Grohl. That's just not something Grammy Award-winning musicians do, so they didn't. They hired Taylor Hawkins. Hawkins, born in Fort Worth, Texas, and raised in Southern California, was by no means green when he was picked up by Grohl's band. In fact, he'd played alongside Canadian-American singer-songwriter Alanis Morrissette. The drummer met Morissette's manager in 1995 when he was only 23 years old, according to a 2019 interview Hawkins did with Billboard, and was invited to lay down drum tracks for Morissette's upcoming album. From then on, Hawkins would enjoy a long-lasting friendship with the renowned Canadian musician and songstress. Working with Morissette seemed to be a fond memory for the Foo Fighters drummer. He apparently enjoyed her as a boss, a friend, and an artist. Hawkins said, "As a musician, she gave all of us a lot of space. I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. I destroyed her songs by putting all sorts of crazy drum stuff all over it, but she dug it." Hawkins ended up leaving Morissette's band after a couple of years' worth of recording and touring because, as he said on the Triple M podcast, he felt like he wasn't going to mesh well with the style Morissette was moving towards. He wanted to play harder and she wanted to mellow out. Either way, it turned out well for Hawkins. What's more stereotypically rock and roll than a drug problem? Rock stars have long maintained reputations as party animals, and it's been that way since the early days of rock music. Johnny Cash, Ozzy Osbourne, everyone from Aerosmith, Anthony Kiedis, you name it. Every era of rock had its users, and every era of rock had those who were taken early because of it. By his own admission, Taylor Hawkins almost became one of them. He told Beats One, "I wasn't like a junkie per se, but I was partying." For about a year, around the turn of the millennium, the drummer said he fell pretty hard into narcotics. Hawkins recalled being given, quote, the wrong line with the wrong thing in it, which led to a heroin overdose that put him in a 2-week-long coma. But drugs were nothing new to the musician, as he told Kerrang. "I used to do a lot of drugs." He added, "I believe the myth of live hard and fast, die young. I'm not here to preach about not doing drugs because I loved doing drugs, but I just got out of control for a while and it almost got me." The 2001 overdose served as a wake-up call. Even though Hawkins said he wouldn't take any of it back, he admitted that he began spending most of his spare time mountain biking instead of getting high. The activity served as, quote, a chance to clear your head out. It's always odd when we see musicians step into the world of film, but some of them have done it successfully, while others, like Foo Fighters Taylor Hawkins, have but just their proverbial 15 minutes of on-screen glory. In 2013, Hawkins got the opportunity to portray the Stooges frontman and godfather of punk Iggy Pop in the film CBGB. The story doesn't revolve around Hawkins' character by any means, but it did constitute the drummer's first major role on screen. Hawkins decided against carving himself out a place in Hollywood, however, and the only other credits you can find on his IMDb page boil down to a long list of Foo Fighters video promos. Film work aside, Hawkins' death leaves a gaping chasm in not only a great band, but in the very culture of rock music itself. The Guardian wrote, "The void left by Hawkins' passing will be profound." The Associated Press quoted Dave Grohl's words about his bandmate, written in Grohl's 2021 book, The Storyteller. "My best friend, a man for whom I would take a bullet. I'm grateful that we found each other in this lifetime."